The tech space continues to expand and the world is leveraging it. However, can we say the same is applicable in the Nigerian narrative owing to certain challenges in development and the incessant battle with corruption? Where are we right now with technology? The Nigerian case study. Join me on this special edition of Meet the Guest with E Plus the Storyteller as our guest, Dabo Owen Eteller, answers salient questions bothering around this discourse. You don't want to miss this.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's
Mm.
about it. Yes, that's about it. And I would like to start. I know we've had to go through some series of questions, and it's just okay to start from how we get the vibe at this moment. So something just came to my mind right now. What's the reality? What's our reality? What's the reality of Nigeria with regards to where we are right now in the place of technology? As has to do with education and every other narrative that plays out, especially as it also affects or influences, if you like, the average child. And when I say average child now, I'm talking about even those who might not really have access to these devices that create that enablement. So in my head, I'm like, are there some statistics of children that may never take advantage of this development? Just looking at it from holistically, and we move from there. When we even to say that, okay, these younger ones, they are our future. Someone said the future is now. So, I mean, all that put together, how can we really fit in?
Okay, so I understand the question, but I don't really have the statistics. But I can say that technology right now is quite pervasive, is ubiquitous. There's almost nobody doesn't understand what Facebook is or what it means to have WhatsApp and a phone and all of that. However, there's still some inequalities because you then find out that kids who grow up in, and this is because technology is not really offered in most public schools. You find out that kids who come from middle class homes, they have access to gadgets, to devices, to internet. So you then find out that they start adopting technology much earlier than kids who come from poor backgrounds. And then you then also see too that kids who come from poor backgrounds may not have that same advantage. And perhaps anytime they meet their friends who have devices or gadgets, and that's where they have the opportunity to learn and do all of that. So if you look at it and you fast forward it across 5-10 years, you see that there may probably be some inequality between these two different, the kid who grew up in middle class home and the kid who grows up in a low income home. The good thing, however, too, at the same time too, is that technology is such that it's very dynamic, it moves very fast, and even after at the end of 5-10 years, you find out that someone who just came in today is much better than someone who has been into technology. So, for instance, let me give you an instance. I've been into technology for I could say over 20 years because my father was a scientist kind of, so he introduced us to computers and all of that. But today now we're talking about using machine learning, artificial intelligence, and even I, who have so much experience in technology, I don't know how to create an AI. But there are people who just started now, and are able to create artificial intelligence models. But then it doesn't mean that I'm not able to understand. It doesn't mean that I'm not able to. I can manage. I can manage a project, a product, anything that someone is even building with AI or machine learning.
Okay.
However, I think that government needs to invest more in technology in public schools, create labs, make sure that it's a course, because you then find out that in places like the United States, when you're going for courses and the course you're going for is a STEM course, you find out that there are lots of scholarship opportunities. You find out that there are more job opportunities and offers after you finish your course. And then to add to that, you need to find out technology is like a leveler. So if you give those kids in low-income schools access to technology courses and curriculum, you then find out that the ability to create wealth for themselves and for their families, you find out that their mental capacity, it improves the ability to understand new technologies and trends and all of that. It generally improves them. So technology is a leveler, and it's something that I think government needs to invest in public schools.
Okay. Wow, awesome. I think you went a whole length, to even cover some of my aspects of my own curiosity. So I'm looking at this as well. Do you share my opinion that there might be that vacuum between children who are from less privileged home? Because I still like to focus on that. You understand? Because there's something you mentioned, technology being an enabler. So at the end of the day, we still have to take into cognizance the place of finance, the place of money. You understand? Who are those that are more advantageous? And I'm very particular about creativity in this aspect. Don't you think at some point it might frustrate some potential, some creative potentials, by virtue of the fact that, this is how far I can go because of my pedigree? In the case where government is not coming in at all, because how long can we wait for this intervention? And what do you think might just be some sort of solution or way forward?
Okay, so I remember some time back there used to be this NGO that had this program called One Laptop Per Child, where they were building a kind of laptop and make sure that those people who come from low income society have access to laptops. And even now, you still find out that Fortune 500 companies are investing a lot in making sure that developing societies have access to internet and other kinds of internet broadband.
Okay.
But then government too is trying to be realistic with I think how it can be achieved, how it can be implemented across board.
Okay.
And so what me I would even say or suggest would be some things you don't leave some things to government. I think we need to have some certain kinds of advocacy groups that would facilitate these kinds of things for high density or low income society. So there's this program that I used to come across these days, Chess in Slum, where a guy went to Oshodi and all, and he was teaching the boys there how to play chess. And then you start finding out that, these guys are actually chess champions. And it has drawn a lot of interest across the world. And now people are now putting money into it, making donations and all of that. So I think that you cannot eliminate the case of advocacy, the non-profit groups to come out and facilitate these kinds of conversations between
Yes.
government, and public schools and low-income societies. An advocacy group could come out and say, look, we must ensure that there's a laptop for every child. It doesn't matter if it's a second-hand laptop, and they'll start finding out that lots of organizations across the world who are willing
Yes.
to make contributions to these kinds of programs. So we can't rely on government. So but at the same time too, what I've also observed too is that because technology is very interesting, you then find out that children pick up a device and they start using it much better than even the adults, much better than
Yes.
people who have had access to these things. So um, I'm not really bothered too much that in another 5-10 years that maybe there may be some inequalities in terms of technology because of one, leapfrogging. I believe in leapfrogging. I believe in the fact that someone can start going to technology and the next 6 months, in 1 year, the person has become a pro. And I also, and technology too is becoming much simpler in the sense that when we started using technology, we didn't have these beautiful interfaces. We used to write on black screen.
No.
But now anybody can almost build an app these days because there's no code application. But
that's right.
But generally, I think that there are various stakeholders, not only government. We should have advocacy groups that need to facilitate these kinds of things, make noise about it, that will draw the interest of philanthropists and organizations to ensure that every child has access to technology. This is what government can do is matter of things like policies or regulations to ensure to that technology is a cause. When we're in school, we used to do business studies and typewriting. But Andrew, are you there? Andrew, are you there?
Back.
All right. So I think I stopped where I said government needs to, as a matter of policy, ensure that technology is part of the curriculum. Like when we're doing business studies in school, we learned shorthand, we learned typewriting. Well, now it's no longer relevant per se, but it was essential then, so yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yes, awesome. I absolutely agree with your thoughts. And somewhere in my head, I'm thinking, do you think we might have a big challenge with culture? By this, I mean where we have diverse tolerance with respect to our culture. Because I'm aware that there are certain cultures that are not so receptive to certain developments, and technology being one of it, because of the beliefs that they have, saying some of these things come on the premise of evil and all that. And I believe if you ask me personally, every narrative has flip sides, there and here, so how do you think we can tackle this I won't call it shortfalls, because that would be passing down judgment, or these thoughts that people have and concerns that people have? How do you think we can tackle it? Don't you think it's actually one of those challenges that might actually hinder a child's creative prowess, where technology becomes an enabler?